I know that, oftentimes it's confusing. We talk about the Reservoir Fish Habitat Partnership and we talk about the Friends of Reservoirs kind of interchangeably, and they really are. What the Reservoir Partnership and Friends of Reservoirs is all about is bringing you all together with the agency folks. Funding for fish habitat at the reservoir scale it's too big of a job for any one agency to tackle on their own. So we really need public support for these efforts. And that's what we're all about. And this is the first of a whole series of these types of workshops that we hope to put out around the country. Texas has just got a whole lot of inertia. And it's thanks largely to Dave Terry and his staff for going out and making this pitch to angler and conservation groups like y'all. Friends of Reservoirs is nothing more than our foundation. It's the financial arm of our efforts. And this 501c3 has really been a boon for us. We can provide tax-exempt donations for sponsorships that you all go out and get. And it also allows us to apply for grants that we normally wouldn't be able to, or you wouldn't be able to, because many of these funding foundations and agencies require a nonprofit to handle their money. And we just heard last week about a grant that we got in Pennsylvania for $20,000. We asked for 70, got 20, which is okay, to take advantage of a lake drawdown to put fish habitat in. So we're pretty excited about that. But this is the type of thing we'd like to do more of. If we can find a project and put that project together with a potential funder. You'd like to be strategic as much as you can with your habitat projects, but sometimes you just have to be opportunistic and take advantage of a situation and funding that's available to address that. The Reservoir Partnership is part of a broader overarching effort called the National Fish Habitat Partnership, and there are 19 of these fish habitat partnerships, all of which have their own little niche they're trying to fill. Some are based on geography, some are based on a species. There's an eastern brook trout fish habitat partnership. There's one in the Great Lakes. There's one for natural lakes. There's one for the Southeast. And they cover a variety of habitat types. The Reservoir Partnership is the only one, and I'm very proud to say our focus is on recreational fishing and the habitats that support those recreational fisheries. That gets us a little bit crosswise with some of the federal agencies, but that's okay. We really are. There's just no way about it. We're about sport fishing. It's a $23 billion annual industry. We rely on your support to help our mission, really to accomplish our mission. Currently, we're standing at 42 Friends of Reservoir groups. You can see we have some obvious holes. The reason we're strong in Texas is because Dave Terry has told his staff that this is a priority. And they have gone out and made the contacts and sold the program. We certainly would like to have the same type of effort in other states. Mike Garthouse from Illinois has taken it upon himself to do the same thing in Illinois. And we have, for Mike's efforts, we've got a pretty good representation in Illinois. When you start looking at some of the other states in the Southeast where reservoirs basically are their fisheries, we need to sell our program to those agencies a little bit stronger. And I just got back from Florida earlier this week and talked to the fish chiefs in the southeastern agencies and gave them that message. The days of building lakes is over. The reservoir construction peaked in the 50s and 60s. You can see what's happened, and we're almost at a standstill now for building new reservoirs, largely for ecological reasons. The government has focused on the downside of reservoir construction as opposed to the upside. And when you have threatened or endangered species within that watershed, it's very difficult to destroy that habitat. And I don't know that that's a bad thing, but what it does make you focus on is protecting what we have left. The reservoirs in this country, the median age is about 60 years. Half the reservoirs constructed are 60 years old or older, and we're not making new ones. Most of these systems, these federal reservoirs, were built on about a 100-year lifespan. So, they're past middle age. And as you all are aware, as anglers, you've got that boom and bust situation. When you build a new lake, you've got 5 or 6 years of just tremendous fishing as that productivity expands. And as these reservoirs age, the habitat declines, which we're here to prevent. And you can see that what has happened to the number of fishermen across the country at the same time as the number of reservoirs have been, or new reservoirs have been created. There's a whole lot of sociological reasons why people don't fish anymore, but it's hard to argue with that relationship. But again, it points out the need for us to take care of the ones we have left.